Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sure my lighting is all screwed up right now. I keep having to move it to actually film the product shots, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so today we are doing my high-end eyeshadow palette collection. I already did my lower end one, which I will link down below if you're interested in watching that. These are not going to be as in order because, I mean, they kind of will be, but some of the brands are kind of messed up and everywhere. For the most part, they're together. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, so once again, just like with the lower end palettes, these might not be palettes that you yourself would you might not consider all of them high end, but I'm looking at it kind of from my viewpoint. These are what I consider to be higher end palettes. That's what we're going with, just to kind of simplify it. I will have my Cutthroat eyeshadow palette declutter coming, so make sure you are subscribed if you're interested in seeing that. Make sure you leave me a comment down below what your favorite higher end palette is, if you have any of the ones that I have. Let's get this under control. So we are going to jump into it and let's get started. Okay, we're starting out with some mixed palettes. The Urban Decay Born to Run, obviously a favorite. I love this one. It's definitely a cult classic now. I also have the Urban Decay Full Spectrum, which is such a stunning colored palette. Mine's really dirty because I've been using it a lot lately. And then the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons. This one I don't love as much as everybody else seems to, but it is a nice palette. The Wander Beauty Wanderous Seascape. This is so pretty, that golden reef shade. I love it. The Laura Mercier, this is the Boheme Chic. I don't really like this one. It's pretty boring, but it is nice for a neutral look. The Too Faced A La Mode Eyes. I love these 10 palettes. Seriously, these little 3 looks in 1 palettes. Very nice for quick looks. This is the Too Faced Razzle Dazzle Berry. I freaking love this. As you can see, it's very used. Urban Decay, the Skull Shadow Box. This one is actually my Pan That palette. It's a super old palette, but definitely an old favorite of mine. This is the Smashbox Cover Shot Punked Eye Palette. This is really nice for purple looks. It does fall kind of on the boring side to me. This one is the Smashbox Cover Shot Minimalist Palette. This one is just a plain neutral palette. It's nice. Formula for the Cover Shot palettes are actually really great. This is a Too Faced Natural Love palette. This one I really like. It's a really beautiful neutral palette. The lighting is kind of off here. A lot of people didn't like this because of the cardboard packaging. I love it. It's so easy to just toss in a bag or something. The Huda Beauty's Coral Obsessions. These little 9-pan palettes are seriously some of my favorites. I have so many of these. I love this one. And the Amethyst Obsessions, this purple palette. Oh my god, definitely a good contender with the ColourPop 9-pan palettes. This is Warm Brown Obsessions. Obviously that gold shade speaks to me. And then Smoky Obsessions. The black shade in this on the top left is completely gone. That one ended up smashing, but I have used the rest of the palette. Sapphire Obsessions. Y'all know how I feel about those blue shades. They're so pretty. And then Mauve Obsessions. Such a gorgeous palette. The formula of these is really great too. The Neon line. This is the Neon Green. I love the shades in here. All of those shimmers and the glitter shades. Neon Orange, obviously, I mean, look at that. That purple shade speaks to me. And then I also have the Neon Pink. This one is stunning as well. I mean, that middle row of shades is just absolutely beautiful. The Smashbox Cover Shot, this is the Petal Metal palette. This one is probably my most used of the cover shots. This is the Ablaze eye palette. This one is really nice, really good for those sunset type looks. This is the Cover Shot Bold Glitter. This is my absolute favorite of the cover shots. I've actually used up one completely. This is my second one. I love it. This is the Golden Hour. This is pretty nice. It's more of a neutral. It's got a couple little pops of colors in there. But once again, the formula for these is just completely outstanding. This is the Major Metals cover shot. I love this one. I love those golds and that red and that purple. This one is the Prism Eye Palette cover shot. This one's really nice. I obviously haven't used this one very much. I have a lot of the cover shot palettes I'm working my way through. This one is the Cover Shot Smoky Eye Palette. So pretty. I love that green, and that glitter, the glitter black is gorgeous. This is the Smith & Cult Book of Eyes. These are nice. I don't love these. It's just because of the layout. The layout kind of freaks me out. The Natasha Denona Mini Lila palette. This is so pretty. I haven't used it very much yet, but I cannot wait to try it more. The Bare Minerals Possibilities Ready 4.0 Quad. This is nice. It's very old now. The Stowaway Dusk to Dawn palette. This is like a credit card size palette. It's cute, compact, but very tiny. Lorac Pro Matte. This is a really great travel matte palette. The Kim Kardashian West Beauty
This is the Smoky Eye palette, I believe. It's gorgeous, a wonderful 6-pan. Tarte Tartelette in Bloom. This is a really pretty palette. It is more on the neutral side. I don't love like the full neutral palettes most of the time. And then the Tarte Tartelette, this is an all matte palette, which I seem to have a lot of those that I didn't realize. This is the Too Faced palette from the Christmas collection of last year. It is really cute, but I don't love the circle shape. The Violet Voss Fun Size HG, gorgeous. I do have the full size HG palette though. The Berry Burst Fun Size, I love this. I love those reds. The Butter London Natural Goddess. This has a lot of really great lighter tone shades. I love this, and it's nice and compact. Touch and Soul Pink Parade, they actually sent this one to me. It is really nice. That pink shade on the bottom left corner is like a pure glitter. It does get a little bit difficult to work with. This is the Tarte, the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 eyeshadow palette. This one is nice. It's very neutral still. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 palette, and this is even more neutrals. Probably don't need both. The Tarte Tarteiste Pro To Go. This is really cute for travel, really nice. I've obviously used it a lot. The Tarte Dream Big. This is also a really great one. Wander Beauty Wanderous Rush. This one I don't think I've used at all, but I love that Blitz shade. The Suva Beauty Saffron palette. This one is probably one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. All of those shades. They're definitely me. Butter London Teddy Girl. This is a neutral-ish palette. That Lottie shade is probably my favorite, but I honestly don't think I've really used this one very much. It kind of gets lost in the drawer. The Jouer palette. This is like the rose gold, I think. A lot of really nice colors. Violet Voss Essential Pro Series. I love this. I love those colors. Definitely more of a fan of the colorful eyeshadow palettes. Pretty Vulgar Nightingale. This one is nicked up, and I don't know why. It's just kind of gotten a little dinged up. This is the Pure Beer Selfie. This is definitely more of the neutral type that I like. A lot of reds, a lot of purples, some more darker neutral shades. The Balm Meet Matchmaker. The only thing I don't like about this is that pan size. Those pans are so difficult to work with. The Balm Foiled Again. Same pan sizes, but I do love foiled eyeshadows. This is a really beautiful palette. The Balm Meet Matte Nude. These pans are so large, and this is an all matte palette, which is definitely really interesting to work with. Going into some Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. This is the Prism. This was my first Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I freaking love it. It's so beautiful. I also have the Alyssa Edwards palette, which is gorgeous for colors. The lighting is, once again, like, it keeps going in and out a little bit, but I love this palette. So beautiful. Modern Renaissance is another one of my favorites. This is like a cult classic palette of theirs. So gorgeous. So many beautiful shades. Those reds. So beautiful. Subculture, probably Anastasia Beverly Hills' least favorite palette, like that everybody seems to feel about. I personally don't have any issues with it. I have only used it a couple of times, but I think it's a really nice palette, and I love those shades. These Soft Glam palette, these have like this weird fabric over them, which just attracts like hair and shit, and it's gross. The It Cosmetics and Naturally Pretty Celebration. This is an okay palette. It's one that I personally find really boring. Same with this one. This is the Naturally Pretty All Matte. They're really nice palettes. I obviously get use out of them, but they are kind of boring. The Lorac Pro, this is volume 1, a classic. I feel like nobody's talked about this in years. This is the Pro number 2 palette. This is more cool toned. It's nice. And then the Lorac Pro 3 palette. This one is probably one of my favorites. Definitely has a lot of really beautiful shades. The Balm Nude Tude. My issue with this is, once again, that pan size. I have gotten a lot of use out of this one. And then we also have the Nude Beach, which was the volume 3. This one I haven't used as much. Juvia's Place, the Nubian. I love these palettes. Juvia's Place makes beautiful palettes. The Saharan, so gorgeous. Like, look at those shades. Wonderful pan sizes. I love them. This is the Becca Volcano Goddess. I mean, do I even need to say anything? Look at Midnight Sapphire. Huda Beauty Desert Dusk. I forgot I owned this one until recently, actually, and I cannot believe that because that's so up my alley. The Huda Beauty Nude. This is the type of nude palette that I like. Gorgeous. The Nomad Cosmetics Berlin Underground. Definitely not my regular taste, but I like it. Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder. Gorgeous. Eternal Light. Ugh. Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream. This one is gorgeous. I love these types of shades, so definitely right up my alley. Moving into the bulk of my Urban Decay collection, the OG Naked palette. Who doesn't love that one? And then the Urban Decay Naked 2, definitely more on the cool tone side, but still beautiful. Naked 3, the Rose Gold Neutral palette, probably my favorite. I love that one so much. Naked Reloaded, this is a new one. I haven't played with it as much as the other ones, but from the a couple of times that I have used it, it is a really nice palette and I like it. This is the Naked Cherry. Oh my god. I mean, look at those shades. Who doesn't love those shades? Urban Decay and Naked Heat. This one is definitely interesting to me. Like, I feel like I should like it a lot more than I do, but I do like it, if that makes sense. And then the Urban Decay Naked Smoky, so gorgeous. Urban Decay Naked Honey, my new favorite. That honey shade alone is like the entire palette is worth that. Thank you. I'm so obsessed with literally the entire Naked line from Urban Decay. This is the Moondust palette. This is one that I would have kept if I could only keep 10. I did a video on that. I love this one. All of the shades are absolutely stunning. This is another old one. This is the 15th anniversary palette. Obviously, I have gotten some use out of it. Not as much as I should have, though. This is the Distortion palette. This one was nice. It's not really up to par with their stereotypical formula. And then the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. As much as I love Urban Decay, this was so bad. It was such a bad palette. There's no pigmentation. The shades are chalky as hell. It's just not good. And that was pretty publicly known. The Urban Decay Oz, Great and Powerful. This is the Glinda palette. It has 6 individual shades and an eyeliner. I don't know why I still have that eyeliner because it is old as hell, but a good palette. I love the shades. Urban Decay Vice 2. I don't have the original Vice, but I love these Vice palettes. So many beautiful shades. So gorgeous. The packaging is so cute, and the brushes are pretty good quality too. This is the Vice LTD. This one sold out pretty quickly when it was first released, and this is definitely one of my favorites, so I'm very happy I still have that. And then this is the Vice 3, which just another range of such beautiful colors. That Grasshopper shade, I love it. And then 1985 and Deadbeat. These palettes give me so much inspiration. This is the Heavy Metal palette. I absolutely hate the packaging of this, but I love like every shade being glitter or shimmery. This is the Elements palette. Once again, I hate the packaging, but look at those shades. Oh my god, they're absolutely stunning. Urban Decay On the Run. These are like the little mini ones. This one is Shortcut. This one is nice. It's definitely more on the plain side for Urban Decay, but it is a really beautiful palette. And then this is the Detour one. These are much smaller, like palm size palettes, so they're really good for travel. And this is a really nice neutral palette with a pop of a blue. And then the other one that I have is the Bailout palette. I think they have a 4th one, but I don't have that one. This is very similar. It's a nice neutral palette with a pop of purple. I like these little tiny palettes, and I'm starting to use them a lot more over my big palettes. This is the Light Beam palette. This one I have not used very much. I didn't know when this one came out. I kind of missed that. This is the Troublemaker palette. I've had this one forever and never touched it. Like, I don't know why. It just doesn't inspire me. The Urban Decay Naked Basics. I loved that they did this. And while I have gotten some use out of it, I don't ever find myself really reaching for it a whole lot, which is odd. The Too Faced Chocolate Chip. This is like the little mini matte one. I don't love the pan size in this, and I don't typically reach for all matte palettes. The Palm Spring Dreams. This is actually a newer one to me. I just got it in a BoxyCharm. I love those shades. Oh my god. The Just Peachy Mattes. This is probably one of the only matte palettes that I really reach for on a consistent basis. I love all of these shades. They're so gorgeous. And then Too Faced White Peach. I mean, Peach Ice, Glistening Peach, and Peach Passion. Like, do I need to say any more? This is the Pineapple palette from Too Faced from their Tutti Frutti collection. I love that gold shade and I love that green shade. This palette is gorgeous. Peanut Butter and Jelly. This one and then the Peanut Butter and Honey are my 2 favorites from like the tin collections that Too Faced comes out with. I love this one. And then the Natural Matte, a matte neutral eyeshadow collection. This is nice, but it is another one of those where it's all mattes, and I just don't personally... I'm not a huge matte person. Like, I will use matte eyeshadows in a look, but I tend to go for like glitter shimmery shades, so I don't really reach for that one a whole lot. The Peanut Butter and Honey, like I said, these peanut butter ones are my absolute favorites. The shades in them are gorgeous. This is the Natural Eyes, so this is like the regular version palette of the all matte neutral mattes. And then Boudoir Eyes. This one is okay. This is probably one of my older ones. I used to have this in like that old like cardboard packaging that they used to do, and it's always been a nice palette. Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, I feel like is a cult classic now. It's really pretty. And then also the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. I really liked these, and I love the scent of them. They're so good. And then I also have the Chocolate Gold palette, which definitely has a lot of really nice pops of color and a lot more shimmer shades, which is, like I said, what I tend to go for. But I mean, they're all beautiful. I will say I do prefer the Gingerbread Spice palettes over the Chocolate Bar palettes, though. This is the original Gingerbread Spice. I love this one. So many stunning shades. And then I also have the Gingerbread Extra Spicy, which again, I mean, just The whole palette in and of itself just speaks to me and I get inspired by it. Then I also have the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, which is a beautiful. I love it. It smells like peaches. It's so nice. And then the Return of Sexy. This one is also really old. And once again, I don't know why the eyeliner is in there. I don't even know like what formula these shadows would be considered, but they are nice. And then Pretty Rich, which, I mean, shimmer shadows, guys. Like, I'm a very simple person. I like my glitters. I like my shimmers. The Too Faced Then and Now, this packaging on this absolutely is terrible because it's so big, but I love the way that they did it. And it's really nice to see the difference between the old shadows and the new ones. Moving into some Jeffree Star palettes. This is the Alien palette. This one has been discontinued. I really like it though. Like, the Alien shade is gorgeous. I also have Blood Sugar, which is a really nice red-based palette. I love all of the different shades. Like, the monochromatic palettes I've noticed are what I really like. And then also Blue Blood. Oh, and the blue and those green shades. Look at Entitled. It's so gorgeous. I also have the Conspiracy palette that he put out with Shane Dawson. I waited online for like 2 hours and 45 minutes to get one for me and one for my little sister. I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. It does look a little bit complicated, but there are a lot of really cute looks that you can make with this palette, and I'm good with it. This is the Beauty Bakery Proof is in the Pudding palette. Another neutral-ish palette, but I love that mango pudding shade. Oh my god. And butterscotch and chia pudding. The Balm What's the Tea eyeshadow tea palette. This one I didn't love as much. I don't love the black primer that the Balm has. I don't feel like it does much. I also have the Hot Tea eyeshadow palette. And it's got the same primer in it. A lot of these shadows to me were very chalky, so I don't tend to use these a whole lot. This is another Juvia's Place palette, the Magic Mini. I love this one. So many beautiful shades. That Falso shade. Also have the Masquerade Mini. This one is so beautiful. I love the brighter shades in this. The Nubian 2. This one has really oversized pans, like genuinely really large. This is the Lorac Shine Bright. I like the jewel tones in this, but overall it's kind of a boring palette to me. This is the Pro Mega palette. I think this is the first one or the second one. This is the third one, and this one's really nice. I don't like the white packaging because it tends to get really dirty really quickly, and then that, like, the fallout tends to go into the other pans, and it's just kind of an issue. The Lorac Unzipped, this is beautiful for neutrals. I did get the ABH Norvina collection. I got the 1, 2, and 3. This is 1. This is 2. I really do like these palettes. They're not monochromatic, but they tend to all follow this, like, a theme, and I really like that. And then this is 3. I don't find that the formula is that terrible. Like, it's not as good as the regular Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes, but it is pretty decent. This is the Violet Voss Pro Mad About You. This is another all matte palette that I actually really like. And then the HG, which is the full size of the fun size that I showed earlier. This is a really nice palette too. It's really great for neutral looks. The Dominique Cosmetics Sweater Weather, I just got this and I'm actually pretty interested because it's all very like light, almost pastel-y shades. Joseph Colors Baked Browns, beautiful for just everyday quick makeup. Joseph Colors Hidden Treasures. I don't like this one. Look at that layout. Who decided that that layout was a good idea? I don't get that. Joseph Colors Desi and Katie Friendcation. This is actually one of my favorite palettes. Like, you can see I've beat the hell out of it. I actually really like it. This is the Lime Crime, the Pocket Candy. This one is interesting. The pans are all massive. I actually do really like it. I just don't ever reach for it. The Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animals. These shadows are actually really nice. I've done several looks with those. I love them. The Pure Festival. This is a pure palette that actually really surprised me. The formula is really amazing.
Okay, so those are my higher end eyeshadow palettes. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Like I said in the beginning of the video, please let me know down below if you guys have any of the same ones that I have. I feel like I have a lot of the higher end palettes that are kind of more socially worldwidely known. I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people have a lot of the same palettes I do. Maybe not just quite to the volume that I have because I have problems. Okay, anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss the eyeshadow declutter that is coming in a couple of weeks. I will catch you guys next time. Have a good one.